Hey, what is up, YouTube faithful? Welcome back to the Guitar Dungeon. Today's video is different, and I really don't know what to do with this. Today we're talking Epiphone. Everybody who's been around the channel a little bit has known that I'm a fan of Epiphone. I like Epiphone guitars. They've been making some really good guitars, and I like to let people know what I think of them. Well, today is all about Epiphones. These are the 5 Epiphones that I have that I want to kind of go over today. There'll be more videos like this in the future. We've got some Gibson comparisons. We're going to have some Fender comparisons, stuff like that. But today we're talking Epiphones because, we've been talking about them a lot. So this is what we're bringing up. As you can see, there are 5 here that are of different backgrounds, different price ranges, different materials, different factories that they came from. Which, is nice. It's good to have diversity, and that's really what I was after when I got these. The differences that I've noticed have been, like, crazy. And, if you're, like, ordering stuff online, like I do a lot, and like a lot of the world does, not a lot of people are going to your mom and pop music stores anymore. People are ordering online, and you don't really have that comparison, that next, one-to-one of what you're looking at, So, hopefully I can shed some light on the Epiphone world and, what you're looking at when you buy. Anyway, let me tell you what we're looking at here to start, right? On the far end over here, we have an Epiphone ES339 Pro P90. It's a semi-hollow body guitar. It has P90 pickups in it. It's a mid-tier, towards the top of the line Epiphone is how it kind of comes off. Next to it, you have the Epiphone Sg VE, which is Vintage Edition walnut guitar. They run about $179. They're really at the bottom end of the Epiphone scale, right? Next to it, you have the Epiphone Classic Sg in Inverness Green. This has P90 pickups in it, as well as, several. I have an affinity to P90 pickups. I really like them. Next to it, we have an Epiphone Special Les Paul, also with P90 pickups in it. This is a, I don't know, what could be considered an entry level at Les Paul, right? They're really bottom of the line. They're right around the same price range as the Epiphone Sg, the Vintage Edition, the walnut there, the brown one. And then on the end, over here, we have a Epiphone Les Paul Modern, in the Caribbean Fade finish, I don't know, the modern setup with the, switchable pickups and everything else. So this is at the end here, this Les Paul is the absolute top of the line Epiphone that you have. And then they kind of jump around a little bit. You have top of the line Epiphone, you have bottom line beginner series, kind of midway, like more leaning top of the line stuff. Then you have, bottom of the line beginner series stuff back to a kind of mid-range. So there's a good range of guitars here. Now, within saying that, I will tell you that my personal opinions of these 5 guitars. I have played these extensively. I've used these in all kinds of settings, whether they be for practice, for recording, for playing live, whatever the case may be. I've put these through their paces for the most part, except for the green one here, which is the newest added to the collection, that I have recently just absolutely fallen in love with this guitar. It just has a phenomenal tone. Anyway, you can watch the other video on my channel and hear me talk about that guitar. All I can say is that after that video, it has gotten a much better relationship with that guitar also. It's out of this world. I love this one. Anyway, I'm trying to do a video without a whole lot of movement and stuff. I don't want to be grabbing stuff or whatever. You know, it's kind of a weird video, right? But I just want to show some of the differences in Epiphone as a guitar line. Not necessarily as specific series or, you know, whatever else, but as guitar manufacturing in general, right? Because they're all over the place. They have several different factories all over the world, you know, and they make guitar, like, pretty much every body style you could think of, every, you know, configuration that you would want. Epiphone's cranking that out of a factory somewhere in the world. And depending on, you know, where that factory is or what their specs are, depends on what their quality is, you know. So this is a sampling of that. Different factories, different areas, wherever else, right? So, it may get a little bouncy here for a second because I'm going to take the camera and show you some of the things that I've noticed by having these guitars around. Okay? Check it out. Okay. So, one of the things I noticed, and this is, well, I'm really bad at camera stuff. One of the things I noticed is the headstocks, right? The logos in general, right? You have the Epiphone logo, right? Get a real good view of this and keep that in mind. Here's the next one, right? You have this logo. Now, look at this jump between that one and this one, right? Notice it has the extra tail on the end, and like the dot on the eye is way higher and stuff, and it's more at an angle. Come back over here and check this one out. Look at this one. And this one. You see? And then even the top of the line Gibson has that. Which, why does their logo change? Right? Like if somebody from Epiphone is watching this video and can explain in the comments, please do, because I don't get why would your logo change because of the guitar or the model. Like, is that a specific, like to a factory thing? Or, you know, like, what's up with that? Kind of curious as to, I mean, that's your brand, right? That's your logo. That is the definitive Epiphone thing. So why does it change from model to model? You know, just curious. Another thing that I noticed, as for comparing apples to something, right? Obviously, we're leaning a little bit more towards this end because we have a Les Paul versus a Les Paul, an Epiphone versus an Epiphone. We have top of the line versus bottom of the line, right? As you notice on, I kind of don't want to push the Les Paul thing because this is way top of the line. This is way bottom of the line. They are drastically different. This one comes with way different pickups set up in it or whatever. This one, I mean, like, I don't want to talk any trash about them. The black Les Paul here is a great playing guitar. And for like a beginner model or whatever, dude, I cannot emphasize enough, like, buy that guitar. You know, it's like way better than anything that I learned how to play on. That's a great guitar. You know, it plays great, it sounds great. I mean, you know, yeah, it has P90s in it, so it has a different tone than something with humbuckers in it. You know, I would really steer somebody towards that, you know. It has the the wraparound tailpiece on it. So it is configured different than their top of the line Les Paul. So, like, you know, I get that. They are so drastically different that there is, like, no real comparison between the two, you know. Cool. Let's talk SGs. Because this threw me, you know. The brown SG we have here, which is the vintage edition in walnut, it's actually my most viewed video on the channel. When I first got this guitar, I couldn't say enough good things about it. And really, I still can't, because it is a good guitar. For the price, it's fantastic. Like I said, they're running about $179. The one next to it here in the green is the Epiphone Classic Sg Inverness green with P90s. There's another name to it, and I can't think of what it is right now, but there's whatever. It's their classic series SG. Like I said, it has P90s in it, so it is a little bit different or whatever. But if you look even from here, these guitar stands are set at the exact same level, right? So they're sitting the same, but you notice that there's a big drop in where that tailpiece is on the vintage edition versus the classic, the green one. Maybe I'd just say brown and green from here. So on the brown one, there's a lot of distance underneath of the Tune-O-Matic bridge, right? Whereas there's not so much on the green one. You know, you have that difference on there. Why? Not 100% sure. Don't know. What's the difference? And really, what's the cost savings in doing that? Right? So, kind of interesting. When you look at the pickups unto themselves, right? You see that on the brown one here, that the neck literally is touching that pickup. Like, that humbucker's nestled right up against that neck, you know? Whereas on this one, you have about an inch gap between the bottom of the neck and where that pickup is. Why would you do that? What is the cost savings on that? You know? I will say that the brown one here is a bolt-on neck, and the green is a through-body neck. You know, it does make a difference. My God, it does make a difference. When you play the two of them back to back, you know, the sustain on the green one is through the roof. The sustain on the brown one, it drops off on you, you know. You have a lot of, you lose a lot on that one. So there are drastic differences between the two. And you notice how the electronics configuration is. I mean, you have the 4 knobs, you know, 2-tone, 2-volume, and a toggle switch, versus 1-tone, 1-volume, and a toggle switch. But the configuration of where the toggle is completely different. And, you know, it's just, I wonder what the advantage is. Epiphone for the longest time has said that, you know, all of their guitars that they're making off of Gibson specs, right? And just since I've had these, I've checked that out. You know, I compared them against my Gibson SG, and the green one here is like spot on. You know, I can put them next to each other. The scale's the same. The pickup configuration is the same. The electronics is the same. Like, everything looks the same as what Gibson is putting out. But the brown one here is completely different. And I don't know why, and I guess I don't understand the purpose behind it. So, you know, that's kind of, I just throw that out there. If you're still looking for a cheap guitar that is still a good guitar for a beginner or something, I do highly recommend them, because it does sound great and it does play well. But in a side-by-side comparison with the other one, you know, if you've got a couple extra $100 that you want to throw towards a guitar, I highly recommend the classic version versus the absolute bottom of the line. just falls back to you get what you pay for, you know? So you kind of fall into that. As I've talked about all the rest of them, you know, I got to throw out the ES339 on the end there. I got that guitar. I was after a semi-hollow body. I wanted something that was a semi-hollow body. Like I said, I do like P90 pickups. And I tell you what, that guitar is great. It plays great. It sounds great. Like, I have nothing negative to say about it. Why the logo is the same as the super cheap Epiphone, I don't know. You know, like I said, it's about a mid-series Epiphone in there. It is a fantastic guitar. I mean, it has never let me down. It's been a great instrument, you know. So, you know, I have nothing negative to say about that one or whatever. I have questions about the brown one now. It's still a good guitar. Like, I still play it. But, like, what happened between that one and the green one? Like, the green one is awesome. I don't know. Anyway, so this video is probably like way longer than what it needed to be, but I wanted to show everybody what you're looking at when you're looking at Epiphone, because everybody wants to kind of discredit Epiphone as being like the, I don't know, bastard child of Gibson or whatever, and they're kind of not. They anymore have become their own entity, but their top of the line stuff is, you know, keeping up with Gibson. They like I said, with the green one here, I mean, it is spot on with Gibson specs. The modern that we have over here, it is spot on with Gibson specs. So if you spend the money, you may not have to get a, you know, a couple $1,000 Gibson or whatever. You can get a really nice Epiphone for that, and it'll fill your needs. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on what Epiphone is and has and will be putting out. They're a good company. They've been doing great stuff. This is by no means sponsored by Epiphone. I've said that before. I say it again. Not sponsored by Epiphone. Even though I wouldn't turn them down if they offered. Just throwing it out there. But this is what I got going on. That's my thoughts on these. Got a lot of questions now. If I find answers, I'll let everybody know. So, anyway, thanks for watching a long-ass video. And, you know, definitely like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed. There's more videos coming in the future. Like I said, we're going to do other videos like this one. We're going to do side-by-side comparisons. We've got some of the big hitters upcoming, Gibson and Fender and stuff like that. So, stick around for that. And I guess until next time, I don't know, be good to each other, right?